Friendly fire comes on board. Maybe a little bit of a cheeky grenade, but it's not going to be easy. Lath is knocked down. Recent is going to make that one count. It should work. Indeed, it does.
You have to do this. Ceci getting a few kills there as well as things go on. This is so important for them to make this happen. Either you do this here or you try and push up on Destiny where their position was. But this is a good move from World of Wonders. Even though it might be for naught, they might die here. They had to make a bold play because they were so far out of the circle. Speaking of bold plays, Navi's going to be pushing on towards this Alamo. Good smokes to cover the progression onwards, forwards with those buggies in tow. Here comes another one. Looking for an off angle here is Na'Vi. Rico Infinity going to have to greet this in kind. You can already see him with that around the peak of the corner. Goes for the spray. Does not get the connection they want. Oh, and an actual knockdown. Rico Infinity having some problems.
Only 2 players up for Rico Infinity. I was a little bit worried when Navi initially sent 2 players in. I thought it wasn't going to be enough. I thought that's all they were going to send in. But the full squad, the cavalry arrived, and now they have the body advantage, the bruiser weight to push in.
And try and take the roof here, but even that's very dangerous because you're open to so many other teams and potential angles. But Na'Vi sweep in and conquer the position here of Rico Infinity. Prestige going to have to make something happen from down there, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. Na'Vi looking strong for this attack overall. And, I mean, they have cover against some of the other teams. Even though 12-18 is looking over in that direction, they can't really find any connections themselves. Here comes the Hail Mary to try and make something happen. Sprays through, gets him through the smoke. Oh.
And that's where Navi made the mistake going for the revive. When you know you have 1 player left from the team directly in the compound, despite you getting third party, you have to clean up the direct opponent in front of you. Job done, but you should not have lost the second player in that fight.
Yeah, so having 2 people compared to 3 people makes their next transitions easier. If you've got the 3, it will be difficult now. 12-18 knows that that fight went down, and they're going to be firing on against them very quickly, and there they do go. 12-18, as soon as you have to leave that compound, 12 out of 10 had brilliant line of sight to be able to greet that. Now, whereas the circle has gone, Gun's in a good place. Nacer in a good place. Yeah, Conqueror will have a difficult time of transitioning forwards, but Destiny's still alive, sneaking up towards the north, maybe finding a little fight with 12-18 here.
And they even have Mazzaro across the road now. He's under a bit of pressure from Nasser, but in my opinion, he needs to make a little bit of noise. He needs to pop off like that firecracker that I described him about as he steps on up. Gonna make a bit of noise, but Prone's right back down.
All right, let's take lay of the land here. We have a very open downward slope from this road. Smokes are going to be important. Thankfully for Frags, they have a few vehicles still alive, and they're making good use of them, moving them up to that little shack that they did see. And the return fire goes down as their attempt to be shot at. Taking out Conqueror as well. Guns moving up. Very, very nice little position that they've got here. If they can hold on to that, it might be the game-winning location.
Oh, Conqueror fell for the bait that 12-18 threw in front of them. They're taking out and sweeping in all the players on towards the northeastern side. And now as they look to, of course, get across the road, Tulika has pushed in. But is that a little bit too early from 12-18? Is that a bit too much of an early push? Will they get caught out for it?
It's a good question right now. Looking at Nace's position, actually, I think that this is amazing for them. They have cover against where 12-18 and Destiny currently are and are able to fire down at guns. Still 4 alive. 12-18 using good positioning of these vehicles once again. Chulik is going to be moving up, moving on towards Destiny. This is big. If they're able to secure this position, this could lead nicely into the next circle. Looking for a nade through the window. Will it? Throw it. It was so perfect before. He didn't know. He goes for it. It catches anyway. And then pushing on against Mazzaro. I don't think he knows he's there. Peeks around. Gets the spray. Oh, he's going for the spray through against Mazzaro. He doesn't quite catch him just yet, though.
Mazzaro is still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. But as the smokes disperse, his position is exposed. The rest of 12-18 are also joining in the backline, even getting the revive onto Zykonophore. That is a little bit bold, but I can't help but respect it. Does Mazzaro have a nade in his hand?
Big question. Sir, gonna move on up now here. I think they have to third party this. I think you just get involved once you hear the shots coming in once again. There's the run over attempt and tries to get him. Mazzaro actually takes down Tulika. off, knocks him down. That's going to force the revive. They do clean up Mazzaro, but now for NASA, it is go time. Bring the fight to 12-18.
Tulika's knocked down, Zakanafor's knocked down. It is just one left up, but the revive's being pulled off.
Oh, and he's going to go for the extra spray, and that is going to be a very easy cleanup for them. They get the victory. Brilliant stuff. 12-18 goes down. NASA with a good, strong victory, considering that position that they had on the east. There's not that much cover, but the terrain and the way the hill dips up acts as that lovely bit of cover for them to ward off the rest of these teams.
Wow, what a way to kick off day 2 of the EMEA finals. Nasser Esports, such a rich history within the PUBG Mobile competitive scene. A name that has just bred life into the MENA region. But coming into day 1, there was no life in them, right? 19 points across the first 6 games yesterday. And then today, 14 kills, 29 points in total. How's your father? Good start from that.
Yeah, if you're looking for a step up, that's the one that you absolutely need.
چیه جاوه خارون هلو 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 جاوه خارون تو جیبه گیه تو بلو
Watch out!
Orada ama. Edepsiz. Çubuğu vereceğim mi bari? ظالم تنزاني وشبك مباري من قراني Orospu çocuğu. Orospu çocuğu. Doğru da söylüyor. Orospu çocuğu. Orospu çocuğu. Orospu çocuğu. Orospu çocuğu. Hello. Of course, my God, my friends. My خیتو داره. خیتو خورا داره. قلمش خورا داره. جوبه خوخورو. جوبه خواه. وين كون يا شبيبي وين كون؟ من بره بلا شوي.
Strategy coming into phase 2, phase 3.
Yeah, like we've seen it a few times here in PUBG Mobile, where if you take this south side, it's a bit easier to rotate north compared to being north and rotating south, because it's big open areas. You know that there's going to be some high ground your opponents are going to be shooting you at from, and then we've even seen it in some games, a la in EU West, where a barrier of teams is created along that road between Los Leones and Monte Nuevo, and then good luck transitioning through that. That is murder, as we see a few attempts at the same through these rotations. Next Ruya does get away. There was even some Winnie shots going off against him. I was loving that. I was hoping one would hit, but I think maybe one did, but not enough to get a knock fully Imperium. Ooh, damn. Good shot.
Okay, frags. Good stuff from Roof. Freak is going to come in and provide that support. Frozen, of course, frozen in time as he's knocked down to his knees. Yek has a sliver of health trying to get to the warehouse, but I can't see that working out. No, it does not. Red dot mini 14 from Freak. It works. It's a double knock, and that's going to leave Guns with 2 kills right off the bat.
Even when you don't have a scope with one of these DMRs, they're still deadly if you've got the kind of control that these guys have. I mean, they're called guns, for Christ's sake. That's what they do. But we see a little bit of an attempt at maybe a salvage situation, but I don't think so. It's almost impossible for them to ever get any rescue down there, especially since Guns now, again, looking at where they've taken up residency in Pozo, has created kind of a barrier. And actually, now that I think about it, when we were looking at Miramar before, NEWMAPKARAKIN was this almost happened exactly the same in our first Miramar game of the tournament, where NEWMAPKARAKIN takes the east side of Pozo, but this time Guns has been able to take that, and that's quite powerful indeed.
And I also think it's without maybe not fully known, but having a strong idea of who it is that you're fighting in that area. Let's be fair, Frags could be taking advantage of a somewhat broken, beaten down NEWMAPKARAKIN in the first couple of days of this EMEA Championship, right? They won PMPL Turkey. They dominated overall. Frozen, 16-year-old stepping up to play big time. But, you know, there's a reason why this is the bigger leagues. There's a reason why this event is a next step, because it is more stressful. The competition is higher, and mistakes such as dropping, you know, in a weird way, trying to contest, trying to go somewhere different and not having a secondary drop spot, it's going to get punished more heavily. Teams are going to recognize that, and they're going to prey on it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm wondering, obviously we have a very limited amount of Miramars, but does one of these teams bail? Does NEWMAPKARAKIN think to themselves, next Miramar, okay, maybe we shouldn't go Pozo, maybe we should go, as you say, for one of those alternate drop spots if we have them? Because losing to this early in the game, effectively, 95% of the time, it's a death sentence, and you're not going to be getting a top 5 unless you're scrambling for a position, right? And then, never mind, not a top 5, are you even getting kills off that game? So sometimes it's just not worth. It's not worth those early fights sometimes at all. No.
Oh my god, the amount of teams that are rotating so central in this circle, essentially hovering and populating the edge of Los Leones on towards the north side. You have Conquer, Footballers, Fate, Nasser, Sudor, and 1218 all in a line on the northern edge of Los Leones. Of course, that's great for all the teams that are outside the circle. That creates way more space going from the likes of Power Grid on the northwestern edge of the circle down to past Picado. So that viability for those teams is very good, but a little bit similar to the last game in Erangel. I think it's so many teams having the same idea allows for more traffic and more kind of craziness in phase 2. If it does shift up to the northwest, you're going to have those teams that are around the north of Los Leones going for a similar pathline to get into a more centralized circle position.
Yeah, of course, you guys at home might not have fully seen how this circle is developing so far. Of course, the circle hasn't moved, but as Imperium is saying, with those teams kind of on that edge of Los Leones, I think it's kind of smart, right? Like, we constantly repeat the phrase of, like, don't go into a city unless you know it's going to end there. Now they have good options. If the circle does shift and Los Leones is still a huge focal point, then they can take up a deeper position in that city. And if not, then at least they have an opportunity to be able to just shoot and drive wherever they would need to, likely maybe compounds near Picado, not necessarily in Picado, etc., etc. So I think it's cool to take up those edge spots.
It is. I'm really a big fan of an edge of circle play style. When it's executed right, it just looks so smooth. It looks so powerful. Panda are sitting really nicely inside this phase 1, and it's a familiar spot for Panda on this kind of circle. Going back to the PMPL EUS, they were a team that would go from kind of Valdemar to around this hillside down the south of Tumasera. Now, unlike then, they've kind of been pushed away from Valdemar by Kanina Power, but by sticking to the same path line, there's a familiarity, there's a consistency so that they can focus coming into this phase 2. As it does pop up, it shifts to the west, and that's the cluster that I was talking about, right? Calaris, that is the craziness now that is on the eastern half of this phase 2.
A little bit fortunate for NEWMAPKARAKIN after their early transactions with guns. Rico Infinity in a good spot as well. And the teams that come out of that Los Leones cluster best, Conqueror and Footballist, of course, there is still a lot of room to work with in these circles. So I think we'll see some kind of wider moves from some of these teams to get into those compounds, kind of near Picardo, etc. But if Footballist kind of takes up a little bit of a split across some area there, they could control big swaths of area for quite a while, as long as they're peacocking as well, kind of, you know, showing the other teams trying to rotate around who's boss with a few shots. But Smoke goes, NEWMAPKARAKIN cannot catch a break. Oof.
No, they really can't. They can't catch a break. It's the first thing I saw when I saw him getting knocked down in the kill feed. To judge upon Navi as they look to rotate out of the blue into the edge of the circle. I really loved what Froz brought up about how in the first 2 games yesterday, they looked 1, 2, 3 steps ahead, like a well choreographed dance. But then afterwards, they were really falling behind. In this game 1, despite not getting the win, they did look a lot more in control of their surroundings, of their position. And if they can carry that forward and add a bit of consistency, that will be happy days for them as Kudor tries to get away. But I don't see that lasting for too much longer.
No, indeed. And as you say, you know, with Frost talking about dancing, he knows a thing or two about dancing. Hello. Of course, 2002 Stockholm tap dancing champion. As he doesn't like to boast about it.
I don't. Are you actually being serious?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 2002's tap dancing champion for Stockholm. He doesn't like to boast about it. I shouldn't have mentioned it on the broadcast, but you know, he sometimes, you know, you gotta give credit where credit's due. But anyway, moving on. Rico Infinity. I can't keep a straight face. You take it, Imperium.
I'm struggling as well. Rico Infinity dropped in Los Leones. They made their way across the main road in towards that kind of not quite centralized position in a circle. But what I love is I love their spread in between the north and the south half of the phase 2 circle. It's on the north or Tumasera side, so I think it gives them a lot of viability. For the teams that look to play around and move away from the north of Los Leones, they've all done it pretty fairly. They've all done it pretty fairly indeed. Footballers are still close to Destiny, who are still close to World of Wonders with Conqueror laying down south of both of those teams.
Nice little spray. Gets a few connections, but not enough. Oh, that's weird. I just got a message from Froz. Why did you expose me? I was planning a return. Oh, interesting. Anyway, we got Destiny still firing off, but I don't think they'll get much from this. It's a bit too far to do, but Destiny, actually, I mean, fair play. We're looking where they are right now, could easily have a decent split. We've seen these compounds just kind of southeast of Picardo be very, very powerful, but where's the circle going to go? And it does actually fall towards them. So that is going to allow them good line of sight over a lot of this battleground for now.
So, on one hand, this circle shift is great because it avoids Los Leones, right, and the craziness that can come about that. But it now includes Picardo. And around Picardo, especially on that southwestern side of Picardo, there's a lot more kind of low ground, and the cover isn't really as controlling. But the benefit to that is there's a number of warehouses and a few little compounds that a team can instantly go to. Navi's going to be the first there. Rico Infinity have a few players across Prestige, already has the anchor point, which Navi are getting very close to.
And we will see now as this fight continues to unfold between Fate and Panda. Panda kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's going to be difficult for them to get up against this. And Fate has shown yesterday that they are no small task when it comes to dealing with them. Little push up from Lin. Can he get much done? Some damage on the backside. Blade with spray down is able to get that knock. Very nicely done. GK first is going to have to salvage the civil situation alongside Years, but Years is just a little further back, and I don't know if that's going to be able to help out.
That's a third party from Conqueror on the shots towards Panda as well. Oh, actually, no, not Conqueror. It's 1280 joining in on the mix behind him. Zakanafor nearly gets knocked down in return. XT chucks out the smokes. This is where the smokes have to come in, but guess what's going to counter the smokes? Utility. Grenades are going to start flying from 1280.
That's right. Very nice little spray down there on towards Ragnarok, the MVP from yesterday. He was looking fantastic, but goes down now. It's going to be difficult for Fate to get there and be able to pick him up. They might have to rely on the 3-man on the right-hand side. Tulika with a good nade on towards GK first. Panda on the receiving end of a Frost prediction. That is unfortunate. They go down. I don't know why I'm going so hard on Frost this broadcast, but you know what? He said he wouldn't have me in his team, so I'm going to go harder.
Keep going, my friend.
Get him.
I love how much you're just digging their heels into Frost across the board. As 12-18 are digging their heels into the teams on the southern edge of the circle. They are still being gate-kept by the players from Fate, right? They are still being held back, and with the high ground going over to Fate, there's not too much 12-18 can do unless they get that cheeky head knock. For 12-18, what they do have to their advantage is that ridge side by the road, which are able to wrap around and go for more of that southwestern edge of the circle. But they need to bear in mind that they're going into the pathlines of another team. In this case, it's Team Unique.
It's actually amazing how many teams have been able to settle in this circle so far, but now it's going to get tough. How do you settle in this next circle? Ricardo Infinity got themselves a great little spot. Kuta technically has a nice position, but good luck holding that down because there are going to be teams crashing onto you quite quickly. I won't be surprised if Unique is one of the ones that comes in on that position as quickly as possible. It could be a nice transition for them. Footballers might also be on the way here to try and break down onto this spot.
Great play by Conqueror. Sent Vito forward, holding on to that compound, the anchor point on the northeastern edge of the circle, and they stop Fate in their hands. Reef is taken down. Fate left with 3 players, and as footballers claw their way in, they're gonna get a double knock onto the members of Unique. Happy days. Turkish side footballers go from one game to another, becoming more aggressive, feeling more comfortable inside these games.
That's right. I didn't even predict the amount of teams. I thought some of those teams I had called may go on to this location,
right?
but then Kanina power rocking up as well. That's just nuts. And also, I'm hearing that I said Ricardo Infinity, but Ricardo's a legend, so I can't complain.
Okay, fair enough. Is Ricardo Froz's Tatamson partner?
Maybe
From 2002? Maybe. Pioneer did get a knock onto one of the Footballers members, so Footballers have been slowed down. But here's the thing, right? One mistake that teams make far too often is when they have a player knocked, they slow down. It's only one player getting knocked. You've now allowed another knock to come through despite getting the revive. All you're doing, Footballers in this case, is you're giving Kanina Power a chance to reposition, move around, and get a continued level of aggression on you.
This is too close. They're just on the opposite sides of the wall. Kanine Power's peeking around as well. They see them get the third knock. And will they be able to finish off Solke, who's going around the other side here, looking through those high windows, trying to get the knock and seeing where he's going, even going for the Balti. Excuse me, calm down. You can't be doing that. That's illegal. And trying to find him around the corner here. Together, don't go for the opposite peaks. There we go, wide peak, getting the kill, bringing down Footballers. Brilliant stuff by Kanina Power. The weird thing, Imperium, is Kuda survives all of this. He's just been a silent mouse in that little building over on the other side.
He's a John Cena of this Miramar game, right?
Yeah.
You can't see me. But for that team fight, it was a great pre-nade coming out from Kanina Power. But again, I just have to say, when you get a player knocked down, don't go for the revive. Continue the push. Have the confidence to know that you're still going to close out that engagement with 2 players left up. Sudor eliminated. Sudor Esports have been eliminated across the board. We're currently looking at Navi trying to take the fight against Nasser Esports across the road. But for Nasser, they can't stand up because the second they stand up, it's fine for Kite are looking in their direction.
Gotta be careful. Definitely careful. It's not the easiest terrain to play as this. It gets quite flat around some areas. And with that, I mean, Rico Infinity still has a good position. Let's see where this circle collapses once again. To fight their way in. Or, I mean, I'm trying to think, could they make a wide rotate around the east side towards Destiny and try and play that out? Because I think sending it center is just, it's a death sentence, no?
It is a bit of a death sentence, but then again, you got to take the chances on board. Aimer being knocked down, Navi still looking to control the area around them despite the pressure they're being put under. One of their players is knocked, but Meku should be able to get revived up. Kitsune, their ITL, is able to lead the way, sending himself forward, trying to get that scouting information, but Rico Infinity is waiting in the wings by that compound.
All right, so Conqueror as well, as you say, with this position at the bottom, not too bad. 12-18 is going to be the ones that I think have to dislodge them maybe from that position. Destiny, man, up in the north of this circle. Don't you have this like compunction almost, Imperium, to want them to do well? We saw them do so well in EU West, and it's not quite hit home just yet here.
Right now, it kind of looks like they're waiting for the results to come to them rather than actually taking the results, as in, you know, as in the good games they've got, nothing against them, but it's been based off them having the majority of these circles, right? But the second they've really had to look to push into the circle, take control of a team fight, they just haven't succeeded in it. They are such a good team. They have the potential of being one of the best teams in the world. I genuinely mean that, but they here right now.
Reba Infinity have moved on towards where we're seeing that previous Kanina Power fight and engagement. Kudor is still alive in there, but Na'Vi is slowly making their way forwards into these circles. It's difficult. They're still going to have to take these fights. Oh, a nice hit across there. Very, very well done. Sprays go down. Trying to clean up Slime here is Nasser as well. It's just going to cause so much collateral damage. Another spray comes in. Nasser eventually goes down. Na'Vi, can they salvage this situation as Slime goes for the spray? Matic is dancing, juking and jiving just like Frost can there. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And is able to get that knocked down. Very well done by Matic. But now you got to get moving, boy.
Yeah, but I've got to say, I love the fact that Slime 4KT end up taking that fight, that 1v1. Yeah. Can you believe you look at a player like Mickey, you look at players like Matic, and you dream of being able to go up against those teams, those players, and that's exactly what Slime 4KT have done, and they tried their best, but unfortunately they didn't succeed. Destiny now should be able to clean up Navi, but again, the question begs, as the next shift has gone to Southwest, will Destiny finally be able to control a late game outside of the circle?
I mean, that being said, it shows the class and fruits of the labor of that Na'Vi are able to get through those fights, survive, and then get to the circle. I thought that it was just going to be a killing field, but they were able to get through somehow, some way. I mean, wounded, of course, but still very impressive stuff coming out from them.
When you're talking about, you know, the circle shifting far away, the mindset has to change, right? It has to go from playing for that little bit of a position to killing your way in, shooting your way in, right? Creating that kind of wall, that path line in front of you. And now Destiny is their next blockage path in front of Navi.
Let's see, Destiny going to be falling down pretty swiftly, as you say. This has been the case for Destiny for a long time here. 12-18 though, going down. Getting knocked even, I should say, but they will take out guns throughout all of this. Very good stuff for them to be able to push up, but now they got to get people up. Rico Infinity would be looking over that direction, but thankfully for 12-18, the buildings are against it. And again, 12-18 inching close to another podium finish here. It's amazing.
Consistency personified coming out from the CIS boys. Looking at the other CIS team of this game, number 2, Navi. They are looking to clean up their players from Destiny. Mishi is knocked down, confirmed up. Mazzaro, the only player left standing. We saw what results he could pull out as a solo player, Miramar, in the PNPL EUS, but I don't know if it's going to last much longer for now as Conqueror went out. Yeah, Rico Infinity Prestige finds one of the Navi players.
Just a little bit too difficult. Tixie in the distance as well. Going to get absolutely blasted from this lobby. And he falls. World of Wonders. Hello, hello. Welcome to the game. Right now, looking pretty good. It's going to be maybe difficult to get across that road when the time comes, but got to deal with that snake Mazzaro, and we know what he's able to do and capable of doing on Miramar as a solo. But again, 12-18. I feel like 12-18 is just riding this wave right now, and I would be scared of them right now in this lobby.
Like, the thing about 12-18 is they don't look spectacularly, like, flashy in the way they play the game, but they just look so stable. And stability in the EMEA Championship, I think, is just that little bit more important, right? Navi started yesterday with 2 chicken dinners, but they fell apart after that, right? I wrote checks that Navi just couldn't cash. Well, it seems like that check might be heading towards 12-18 if they continue with their consistency.
You might have been right about the region, at least. Yeah, this is
true. True.
This is not bad. Okay, interesting thing developing right now. Rico Infinity are not looking at all in the direction, really, of 12-18. They know a team is there, but they know as well that kind of their back is covered almost. This was a bit of a bold play to go up there by NASA. They were constantly looking at World of Wonders position.
Yeah.
NASA goes down. Going to that roof, yeah, you might have wanted a higher vantage point against some of the smokes that were being laid down, but a bit bold, a bit ambitious when you had that easy cover.
I'm all for information is power, but the only thing that's powerful in the late game is just getting the kills. As World of Wonders go down, Mazzaro's still left alive. We're into the top 3 teams. It is realistically going to be that battle between 12-18 and Rico.
I love that all those teams were just, they knew where World of Wonders was, just blast them as they come out the road, because the road was going to be a death sentence for them. And Mazzaro, he might be forgotten about for quite a while here, if he's a sneaky enough snake. But
that's true.
Because the thing is now is that 12-18 and Rico Infinity are completely focused on one another. Destiny actually does end up falling, though, down across that. That's fine. Now it is this fight going down, and I gotta say, I favor 12-18 here, considering the power they've shown.
No, this is 12-18s for the win. Prestige is knocked down, 2 players left standing. Unless Rico Infinity can pull off a Canadian power, this is all for them to take over.
A nice attempt to spray there from this suppressed AK. Nade already came in against him, though, and doesn't quite connect. Got to be careful. The pickup on Prestige, not bad. Where are we prepping this grenade? Where's it going? Into the garage at the back. Does it find a target? I doubt it. Didn't go in quite as far. Marmalade's going to be prepping another one. Will it connect? Gets himself the Murado in there, but here's the push. Goes for the peak. Actually gets already caught there. 1-for-1 trade. Good for 12-18. They've got to continue this pressure on now. After getting that knock, it would still be a 3v2. Pushing on around. Prestige going to get lit up, and that will be the game. 12-18. Second place is abound, but you know what? They can finish as well. Scary stuff coming out from them.
Man, they're looking so good. They're looking so good. This win was coming. It was bound to happen, right? They were like, you know, the second place team, the third place team, happy days in terms of consistency. But that chicken dinner shows to me that they can finish it out, right? They can really get the job done when it matters. And 2K damage, 13 kills, 28 points. That cushion at the top becomes ever bigger for the 12-18 boys.
Yeah, with the second places they got, they were a cat playing with tassels, having a fun time doing what they can, but they just pulled the whole curtain down with this one. This is very nice for them. The 28 points coming on in, and they were already doing brilliantly yesterday relative to a lot of the but now a second place and first place. Now you've got to kind of make sure that you're not going to have that Navi fall off that we saw yesterday, right? I mean, this second and first coming in here, keep that, well, as Max would say, metal to the pedal or whatever came along in US. Sorry, Max, I don't want to do you dirty. Only Froz dirty here for this tournament so far. But I would like to see them continue with this on 12-18 side.
Definitely, and looking at Navi as well, that you mentioned them. 5th place in the first game of the day. I think a 4th or 5th this game too, with a high amount of kills. I gotta say that bounce back from the fall from grace they had yesterday is quite strong.
مدينة سوداء لنا. طرشك طرشك هذا سوي الطرشك. نيمار بره برشلونة ده هو نيمار عايزين الكورمان شو رجعوا عارفين بس يعني عايزين نيمار بره برشلونة ده هو اضربوا بعض اضربوا 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 بعض